In this tutorial, you'll learn how to save your documentation, choose a location in which you can save your documentation, and the types of format that you can use to save your documentation. Now let's look at save and save as. Save and save as has a similar functionality. Either way you click on either one of it, will bring you to the same location. So let's click on either one of it. Once you click on save or save as, it will bring you to this particular box in which you will have to choose the place in which you would want your documentation to be saved in, either in your recent or your desktop or your My Documents, My Computer, or My Networks. Even if you click on this drop down button, you can see that it gives you the options or the locations in which you can save your documentation. So once you've chosen a location, for instance, or for example, I choose desktop, I have to key in the file name of my documentation, key it in, and you can see save as type. One thing good with Celframe Office Write is that it gives you a variety of formats in which you can actually save your documentation in. Like some of the formats you can save your documentation is like in Celframe docx, which is the .odt format, or Microsoft Word 95 in text format, or even in HTML document format. If you want to share this documentation with different types of users and you're not sure whether they have Celframe Office, you can click on Microsoft Word 97 2000 XP. By choosing this file format, not only can you open it in your Celframe Write, but those who don't have Celframe Write will be able to open this documentation in their Microsoft Word suite. So once you have chosen the format and the file name and the location, just click on save, and your documentation will be saved in the location with the name of the file and the format of the file. Now let's move on to save as web page. You are now able to actually save your documentation in a web page format straight away. So click on save as web page. The similar steps will be required as save as. Choose the location in which you want to save your documentation. You need to put in a file name, and since you have chosen to save your documentation in a HTML document, therefore automatically it'll come to as your HTML document format. So just key in the file name, choose the location, and click on save, and your documentation will be saved in a web page format. Now let's proceed with saving the documentation in a PDF format. If you're wanting to save your documentation in a PDF format, all you have to do is click on export as PDF. Once you click on export as PDF, you will see the same procedure as save as or save as web page, which you have to choose the location in which you want to save the documentation, key in the file name, and once you have keyed in the file name, you can see that since you have chosen the option to save as in a PDF format, you can see that the file format automatically becomes a PDF file format. Click on save, and once you click on save, you can see that the PDF option box will pop up for you. In this box, there are so many different tabs in which you can use to help enhance your PDF document even more. Let's look at it one by one. The general gives you a general option in which you can choose the range in which your document should be PDF'd in. For instance, you want all the pages to be PDF'd, or a page range in which you want it to be in PDF form. Next, you can choose the images. You can choose between lossless compression or JPEG compression, and in that you can choose the quality in which you want the compression to be. You can reduce the image resolution, and the general is where you can tag the PDF, you can export notes, export bookmarks, create PDF form, and in create PDF form you can choose the submit form format for the PDF form, either in PDF format or FDF, HTML, or XML format. You can even export automatically inserted blank pages into the PDF documentation that you have done. Next, you can see is the initial view. Initial view has panes in which you can choose page only or bookmarks and page, thumbnails and page. You can even open on page and you choose the number of pages that you want to open. Magnification allows you to choose default magnification or fit in window, fit in with magnification, fit visibility. You can even zoom, and in zoom you can choose the percentage in which you want to zoom the document. You can choose the page layout, whether you want a default or single page, continuous or continuous facing. You can even click on first page is left. Next we will see is the PDF user interface option, in which in Windows options you can choose to resize window to the initial page. You can choose the center window or screen on screen, open in full screen mode, or display document title. The user interface options allows you to either hide your menu bar or hide your toolbar or hide your window controls. In PDF it allows you to bookmark, in which you can choose all bookmark levels or just visible bookmark levels, and you can choose the number of visible bookmark levels that you want to. Next and most importantly is the security features. With Celframe Write you can now enhance the security features for your documentation. In order to encrypt the PDF document that you have created, all you have to do is click on the checkbox and you will be required to set an open password. So click on set an open password. You'll be required to key in a password. Once you keyed in a password, you will be required to confirm the password. So once you've confirmed the password, click on OK. So a password will be set for you when you open your documentation. That will basically mean that when you open your documentation, you would be required to key in the password. Next, you can restrict permission for your documentation. Click on the checkbox. You need to set a permission password again. So click on the password box and key in the password. Confirm your password and click on OK. And once you click on OK, you can see the list of restriction that you can do for your documentation. It allows you to choose whether you want to permit printing, and you can choose to print in a low resolution or a high resolution. And for changes, you can choose whether you want to permit changes or just permit inserting, deleting and rotating of pages, filling in form fields, commenting, filling in form fields, any changes except extracting pages. You can even choose whether you want to enable copying of the content of your PDF documentation or enable text access for accessibility tools. So once you've set or chosen the options that you want your PDF document to be in, just click on export and it will save your document in the way you want it to. Now as you can see, I've saved all my documentation in my desktop, and you can see that this is in Word format, this is in web page format, and this is in PDF. And let's look at PDF. Since we have set a password, I will show you that once you open the PDF documentation, as you can see it's written tutorial.pdf is protected. Please enter document or open password. So key the password that you have set and click OK. So once you click on OK, the first thing you can see on the top is tutorial.pdf, and in brackets is secured. And you can see that this is your documentation. Since I've not allowed any editing to be done in this documentation, you can only highlight. Once you right click, you can see that you only can select all this, select all, or look up this. Other than that, you're not allowed to cut, copy or paste or edit this documentation. As you have seen, I've not allowed printing to be done for this documentation. So when I go to file and go to print, you can see that the print has been disabled. Therefore no one can print this documentation out without my permission. By the end of this training, you will be able to save your document, to choose the location in which you have saved your document, the format in which you would like your document to be saved. You saw how to save your document as a web page format. or a PDF format, and in PDF format you have learned how to enhance security features or include security features in your PDF format.